والله يدعو إلى دار السلام ويهدي من يشاء إلى صراط مستقيم.
Okay, next we had a question from Sister Fatima, another one of our young viewers. She asked a question about a brother being killed, a Muslim being killed. If a Muslim dies at the hand of another Muslim, will any of these go to paradise, Sheikh?
Before I answer this question, I just wanted to bring to the attention of all the viewers, not just the junior viewers, and especially the one who asked the previous question about aliens. When I answer that, of course, we're not talking about aliens which you watch on Hollywood. Or they keep bringing up every day a new fictitious movie, and they say, we haven't seen them, so we don't know. And that's why, if you notice that, if there is any scientific fiction, or a movie, or a novel, the picture or the image of that alien is very close to human. Why? Because you cannot create something unless if you have visualized it physically. So that's why, whatever they do, they come up by the end with something that is similar to human, that have 4 limbs, that speaks, that have eyes, maybe a huge nose, maybe horn, maybe huge ears. But by the end of the day, they make up something which we don't know if it does exist in the same form or image or not. About other creations, we only describe what we were able to see and visualize physically. So I don't want your mind to go there to what you watch in these movies. Now, as far as a Muslim killing another Muslim, there is a great threat in the Quran that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that whosoever kills a believer deliberately, the number one, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's curse is upon him. And Allah is angry with him. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not forgive him his sins. And he shall abide eternally in the fire of hell. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said also in one hadith, إذا التقى المسلمان بسيفيهما فالقاتل والمقتول في النار. If 2 Muslims happen to combat against each other and fight with their swords or their weapons, fight each other, the Prophet ﷺ said, both of whom will end up in the fire of hell. Al-qatil wal-maqtul. The murderer and the one who's murdered. So the companions were amazed and they said, Ya Rasulullah, it's understood why the murderer should go to hell. But what about the murdered one? Poor, he was killed. And Nabi ﷺ said, he too was very keen to kill his Muslim brother. He happened to get killed, or otherwise he intended to kill him. But he was killed first. So we have to understand that Sibabul Muslimi fusuq. The Prophet ﷺ said, cursing or insulting a Muslim is an act of fisq, rebelliousness. وَقِتَالُهُ كُفْرٌ. And fighting against him is a disbelief, is kufr, whether you kill him or not. So we have to be very careful with that. And the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, you still have a chance of being forgiven, of being saved and receiving salvation, no matter how many sins you've committed, even major sins, as long as you did not shed a blood of a Muslim. As long as you did not shed a blood of a Muslim. Yet, if someone was involved in that, there is something called al-qasas. وَلَكُمْ فِي الْقِصَاصِ حَيَاةٌ يَا أُولِي الْأَلْبَابِ, which is equality in punishment, unless if the guardian forgives and accepts for innocence the blood money or a diya. Okay? What about the murderer if he repented? If he begged Allah for forgiveness? If he realized that he was under the influence of the shaitan, now he repented. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says that Allah's doors of forgiveness and tawbah are always open as long as the person does not commit shirk. So the scholar said, with that, still there is a chance. And the proof is the hadith which the Prophet ﷺ stated, the man who killed 100 persons and did not do any good deed in his life, but when he repented, and he was sincere in his repentance, and I hope one day we have enough time to discuss this hadith in details, because it's such a great hadith. He ended up in heaven after he died without doing any good deed, except just he repented sincerely unto Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if anyone happened to get involved in any of these evil activities, in the name of Islam, in the name of jihad, in the name of whatever, you have to understand that you have been misled. Anything but not a Muslim. سباب المسلم فسوق وقتاله كفر وإذا التقى المسلمان بسيفيهما فالقاتل والمقتول في النار. But if anyone was involved in any of these evil activities, he should turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with sincere repentance and begging for forgiveness.
جزاك الله خير.